one who can help her is an imaginary friend named Larry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So,
And Larry came in and just ruined it all. Boy, we got to know old Larry.
Yes, we did.
I just say Larry's something else, boy.
Something else.
Larry kind of a handful. Good old Larry, but you know, let me just stop. We'll talk about Larry a little bit. Back in 1999 on the Disney Channel, man. You know, it's funny because at that time, a lot of people were scared of some things, man. A lot of people were scared of, what was it? The new century coming up.
Y2K.
Yeah, Y2K.
People were scared of Y2K.
What's going to happen when we hit 2000?
Mm-hmm. What's going to happen when we hit 2000, man? You know, scared of that, man.
Country was going through an identity crisis.
It really was. We already had one tech bubble burst. You know, economy was kind of crazy and everything. Entering a new century, and people scared about that. And it didn't help that Disney Channel was making some of the most horrifying and scary originals out there.
That's right.
Or at least that's what we were told today. We took a poll to ask people what they would like to see us talk about as far as a Disney movie. When usually things are kind of light around here and we want something fun to do, we talk about these Disney Channel's originals. Because the approach is that Martin and myself, we were past that point where it's like, hey, all right, I'm a grown-ass man. I watch Disney Channel movies. But you were a child at the time, the appropriate demographic.
They were made for me, man.
They were made for
Grew
you.
up on these films, a lot of them at the very least.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. This is one of the ones I saw.
And the cool thing about being a millennial adult today is to look back and say, man, that was some real bullshit.
Yeah, I'm noticing that a lot watching these. I'm like, oh, that's a classic. I'm like, oh my God, they did that.
Well,
I talked those guys into
I'm embarrassed. what
crucified.
have I done?
it's been 23 years since I've watched this with my 6-year-old mind,
yeah.
my 5-year-old mind.
Pretty much.
It's funny how being a f***ing actual grown-ass man or woman can just kind of paint your opinion in a different way on these things that I beloved a long time ago. Some people even call them classics. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We took a poll, and at least Kevin King, one of our producers, our producer over here for some of these shows who helps us out with a lot of stuff, he took a poll on what movie review would you like to see for a Disney Channel original? And people voted apparently overwhelmingly for Don't Look Under the Bed, considered and categorized as a horror film, a family horror film, but a horror film nonetheless. Let's go ahead and take a look at the trailer for Don't Look Under the Bed as we get an early start on Halloween.
the only one who can help her is an imaginary friend named Larry.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
So,
And Larry came in and just ruined it all. Boy, we got to know old Larry.
Yes, we did.
I just say Larry's something else, boy.
Something else.
Larry kind of a handful. Good old Larry, but you know, let me just stop. We'll talk about Larry a little bit.
and whatever.
Boy, they tried their best to rip off Tim Burton, ain't they?
Hell yeah.
They tried their best to make this shit sound like The Nightmare Before Christmas. Got that Danny Elfman going on.
I know.
Hey, they own that music, man. Gotta use this.
That's
yeah.
true.
Don't look under the bed.
There's a lot of adjectives I would use to describe this movie, and scary does not get on the bill.
Scary is the least one. Scary. Who the are these people? They really? Let me just say this. They must have been 5, 6, or 7.
Oh, yeah.
The last time I saw this. Let me say this. When it comes to these Disney Channel movies, don't you tell me about them today if the last time you saw them was when you were 6 years old. Because you don't know what this shit is today. If this shit scared you.
And you know about the whole history of this being scary.
Oh, well, let's not get into it yet, but I
Yeah.
think I know why. Because I prepared my reasons for why this is scary. But I can tell you what, it ain't because it's a scary movie. It's not because of some supernatural shit. It's not because of kind of ghost or magic. There's another reason why this is probably scary to people.
Right. There's that. But like this was so scary that they won't even show it anymore. like they showed it a few times and stopped because supposedly it was so scary that parents were writing angry emails about how their kids were so scared.
Wow.
So they only showed it a few times and then wouldn't show it anymore.
These motherfuckers. No, the kids were fine. I know what you're saying, Martin. They're lying. They're lying about. I know good and goddamn well why these parents didn't want to see this shit no more. Now maybe they were saying, "Oh, this is so scary for my child," but they didn't want their kid to see one particular thing. And I can tell you what that is in a little bit. This wasn't scary. Your parents were scared. Y'all weren't scared. In fact, y'all were cool with it until your parents came in and said, "Oh my God, don't watch this."
Right.
I've heard about this. No, get the out of here with that. No. I saw some things in here that weren't really scary, questionable, maybe.
Yes, that.
Some things that were maybe a little bit odd as to why would you say something like that? I don't feel really comfortable hearing those words out your mouth. Like the so-called 14-year-old girl that's in this. I forgot this actress's name.
Yeah.
She was on General Hospital, I believe.
Yeah.
If my math, they say this girl is
She was 20 when
she was
did this.
20. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
This girl is supposed to be a 14-year-old girl, and I look, your mind today, you don't want to go places because, and I'm not saying it's sexual. I'm not saying that at all. I was just that, you want to be careful what you say because you think, who's listening to my thoughts now? I don't want to say anything about this girl because I don't want to freak anybody out. But I said to myself, it ain't because I had some weird thoughts. I just said, this girl ain't 14.
Yes.
Yeah.
This girl ain't 14 years old. There's just no way. This ain't coming out of some lust for her or anything. It's just she's not, all right? But they said she's 14 in the movie, so we gonna take her as that.
Okay.
Right. So when a 14-year-old girl is walking past and she says some crazy shit like this,
Good morning, Francis.
Good morning, Mr. Kepler. It's my biology teacher. He really likes me.
it's like, okay, what the?
Oh, that's I didn't really notice that, but the high school my kids went to, there was a Mr. Kepler, and they would tell me how they thought he was dorky, but there was other girls who was like, no, he's hot.
Oh wow.
Must be the same dude. I don't know what kind of game this dude got, but it must be him. Cause did you see that shit? They even try to play it off. He really likes me. And listen, that wasn't like I wasn't like, oh, he thinks I'm smart or I'm his favorite student. Like, no, he really likes me. And I can tell you something else. What makes me think that this is some sort of crush that she has on this dude is when she walks away, I was like, this guy don't give a fuck about you. There's even a point later, and we'll get to it later on in the movie. But really, Mr. Kepler, Mr. Kepler don't give a fuck about her. I can tell you that right now. The moment she walked away, he look at him, looking at his car. He's like, I can't stand that bitch. There's a lot of things in this movie, man, where it's like, all right, something. This is bad. It's terrible. But I will say that it started out. It started out kind of cool, in a way. The movie starts out, starting to lay out some details. That scene for a horror movie. All right, that's kind of strange. Or it's like this is typical, but I'm watching a kids movie, so this is kind of cool. They're doing this here. One of the typical things they do in horror movies, people start seeing shit or having dreams about it. And our character here, Frances Bacon, she's having all kind of weird dreams and shit.
In my dreams, it felt like someplace else. Somehow familiar, but also very strange.
It's like, how much did you have to drink in your dream? Because you swerving all over. You see that
Yeah, how are they doing that shot? Is somebody holding the camera and just turning it as they being driven around on a bicycle?
Yeah, it's like she's up in my dream. Shit, I was up like a mother.
Attacked by a pterodactyl too. Apparently.
Getting a swervo. She's having weird dreams. Middle of the night, she's getting visited by pedo Nosferatu. Come in the middle of the night. Creeping for a 14-year-old girl. You're like, yeah, man. Daylight can't find my ass at night. That's where they all fucked up. Doing that shit in the daytime.
Well, there was no age restriction in the Victorian age.
No, I guess not. Fool coming in with them hands, boy. See, got them talons going on. Shit, where that young ass at? Yeah. This is that's after we meet Frances and see all the weird stuff going on with her. Then that's when we meet her family. A family called what was a family called the Mac Roslins or something?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know the Bacons. I know that's her middle name, but I don't know their last names.
Yeah, man. The McCauslins.
Yeah.
We meet the McCauslins, her family. I can tell you, I don't even mention her parents in this because her parents are boring as shit.
Yeah, they are.
But I tell you what, when we meet her family, that's when we do, for me, where we meet what I think is the scariest thing in the movie. That big brother needs some help in this.
I'm the one they always blame for everything.
That's because you have so much pent-up aggression.
I do not!
Oh, I know.
Brother, you get him some counseling right now.
Yeah, he's gonna be a school shooter.
Shit, he gonna be a family shooter. He gonna kill everybody in that family. Starting with this bitch at the breakfast table. I don't know what happened because I looked this up. Apparently, there was some mix-up on the internet about who played his role. The brother's name is Bert.
Right.
Yes.
And they say Bert was played by Rachel Kimsey. That ain't true.
No.
People, I want to give you a shot. I was like, well, shit, maybe he was a woman the whole time and just pissed off.
Maybe he went through a transition.
Yeah. That is not him.
Nope.
That is not, I don't know how the fuck that happened. I don't know how that happened.
Disney doesn't care anymore. They're like, whatever. Came out in 1999.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. You know where Stephen King mainly is Maine, the town of it's Derry, Maine, or some other city in Maine where
Castle Rock.
All of a sudden some weird shit starts happening to the whole town.
Yeah.
So this is kind of Stephen King light. Like all kind of weird shit starts happening. There's graffiti that all of a sudden pops up in this nice pure white town. It's like we white folks don't do graffiti.
And dogs that are just up on roofs.
Dogs on rooftops. Who put them up there? Vandalism starts to happen. Vandalism that comes out of nowhere. All around the city, property is being destroyed, including the car of Francis's man crush, her teacher crush, right there, Mr. Kepler's car.
Love that
Somebody eggs the out his car.
Yeah.
Now
they used a whole grocery store full of egg cartons.
they should did, and no, and what does Francis say in this teacher? I don't know, because apparently the whole school hates this motherfucker, man, because his car gets egged, and there's not one kid sympathetic. They're all just laughing.
Who did this?
Every student. Now here's why I said, let me just come in later. Every kid out there is laughing at this guy.
It's like I always tell you, just a lack of morality. They don't learn.
All of them are pieces of shit. Every one of them.
I'm
Everyone.
sorry. You can have adults, and they would openly be like, "Oh man, that sucks. I know how I would feel." But they would snicker their asses off.
Even adults would.
Yeah.
But there would at least be some kids today that'd be like, this sucks. This is terrible. Why would they do, if this teacher's beloved everybody, which apparently he's not because they just laughing at his ass, they would be like, what happened? But notice that every kid back there is laughing at him. Every kid's pointing fingers. Yeah, that's what you get, you bitch. But but there's one kid who is not laughing at all. They're actually looking at this shit like this is wrong.
Yeah.
It's Francis.
Right.
And what is the teacher that supposedly loves Francis so much? What does Mr. Kepler say to her?
Do you know anything about this?
Oh, man. You know what? I can't get mad at him. She looked guilty. Everybody else laughing. She's the one like, ugh.
No, man.
She just looked confused.
She
She's
looked
like,
confused. That bitch behind him looked more guilty right here laughing her ass off. She laughing hard.
And fake Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it's weird shit. Weird stuff. This is what makes me think that maybe these people got something on this chick. It's not just egging cars out of nowhere.
maybe she's done stuff before.
It's maybe like there's weird like shit that's happening, like sort of supernatural shit on like a just a childish level that's happening. People try to go for a swim. The swim team is trying to go out there and practice, and it looks like water before they jump in. And the moment they jump in, shit turns to jello.
Someone put a little gelatin in the school swimming pool.
Shit, Bill Cosby was out there.
I got him.
It's a pool full of roofies.
Worked better than I expected.
Shit, Bill Cosby swimming that jello like a shark right now. I got one. Yeah. He's going to see how lazy he pulled that. Do it. Gotcha, bitch. For whoever's doing this, their purpose is to frame Frances.
Right.
Frances Bacon is her full name, by the way. So she's weird from the jump. Like her parents just gave her some crazy shit to name after. But she's, everybody's thinking like, look, all this stuff is happening to everybody in town except you. And whoever is doing this, I guess, is dumb enough to think that they'll fall for this frame up. Because this shit that happens that doesn't, even if they want to frame her, it still don't make sense.
Well, especially when all the kids get to school and there's a bee painted on
That's
their locker.
that's what I'm thinking about.
And
Wait, hold on, I'll play it. This shit right here. Maybe I didn't look at this hard enough. I missed some details, but it don't make any sense.
Why is yours the only one without a bee on it? Maybe she's the one who did it. I mean, I didn't do it.
B for bitch, you did it.
But at that point, when she opens it and there's a bee, it's like, well, see, clearly they got me too.
Yeah, but they got the inside of yours.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody has the combination for yours except you.
That's the proof that you did it.
It's like,
wait, what?
None of this makes sense. It's like, why would I make it that obvious that I paint a bee on everybody's locker except mine? And why would I paint a bee on the inside of mine? Unless I got some weird Sesame Street kind of illness going on. I'm going around painting bees on everything. I got a mental problem. And then where this starts to really take a turn, I mean, I'm serious. This is what just steers the movie just way off course. When she starts pulling some black Sixth Sense type stuff, like she only sees black people, or at least a certain black person, a black dude that just kind of pops up out of nowhere, and he looks hungry as for some white ass right now. Yeah, girl, I see you. I mean, it even gets a little creepy.
It's a little.
Yeah, because at first that was a little creepy, but hey, at least he's kind of in a normal spot. He's sitting on the ground. There's points where this fool, so this is some black dude that just comes out, this young black kid comes out of nowhere and just starts just hovering around this girl, looking at her from a distance. And it gets to a point where, it's stalkerish, but then when this fool starts climbing rooftops and starts stalking her ass like Batman, that's when it gets crazy. Yeah, I thought he was going to like swoop down and grab her ass. Do one of them Batman drops.
The perch takedown.
Yeah, that perch takedown.
Like an Arkham.
Come back with a limp ass white girl. Oh, like this fool is on top of rooftops looking at her. You don't want to get racist with it, because when you see like a black dude just sitting across the field smiling at a white girl, if you get some stereotypes in your head, you're gonna be like
Billy Brooks, the early
Billy
years.
Brooks, yeah. But you start thinking like, oh shit, man, you trying to pimp this white girl out? You don't want. Jesus. Look at him.
I've already worked the bus station.
Hell yes, shit. Getting them young now. Put her ass on the corner today. And see, you don't want to think like you don't want to think that way. I mean, I don't want to go that pimp stereotype, but it don't help when they put this brother in a pimp coat. I mean, fur ass coat.
His dog's got sunglasses.
Yeah, dog got sunglasses. This fool is in a fur coat in the sunshine, and it's just like, you want me to think he's a pimp. Look at it, just drooling, looking at this white girl. It's like, you want me to think he's a pimp. I expected him to come back with a hat with a feather in it next time. I'm like, y'all doing this shit, man. He must be invisible. And I have my reason for thinking about it, which they quickly make clear, like, okay, this guy's not really there.
Why is that guy staring at us?
What guy?
Wait, his black ass was just there. The black one. You didn't see him?
She couldn't even deliver those two
Two
lines.
words.
Two words.
She had to
Two
deliver
words.
2 words.
People,
Nothing.
and
Damn.
that's why I didn't
That
go
was
and try to look for
awful.
another. And I said, I know her non-acting ass is coming up again somewhere.
There you go.
And this is even better because she had a whole line she fucked up and mangled, but 2 words. What? Guy.
Staring at us.
What? Guy?
Did you see that?
That was some improv right there.
Thinking what guy? She is.
Damn.
She's trying to. She's struggling to act so bad. She's short circuiting. Did you see that?
Having a seizure in the scene.
But you know, she likes it. She likes that this guy's following her, man. She's kind of digging on a little bit. She's feeling a little flattered because she sees him walking right towards her. Black dude in the middle of a white suburban neighborhood.
Are you following me?
You know, and he walked up on her like he was strapped to her.
I know.
And she got flirty as hell with it. You see?
Are you following?
Are you following me? Yeah. Blam! Shit, you got a hit out on you. You been greenlit. You look at
Town put a bounty
this
on
bitch
it.
been greenlit. They looked at Larry and they said, you know what? The director said, you know, this. I don't know what it is, but I still feel like this kid is holding back. Let's tell you what. Let's sprinkle a little bit of this PCP in this soda. Let's see what happens.
Let's just film it then.
Let's see what happens. Let's just get his ass high as
Jesus.
and let's just let's just see what happens, man. Just got his ass run through a hallway. And then if that ain't enough, they just said, well, that worked. You know, tell you what. Hey, kid, tell you what you do. Take this shit, and then you go over to the prop department and you pick out anything you want. You pick out any clothing or any kind of object, and I tell you what, you take that out and you just be you. Don't hold back.
They didn't give us much of a budget, but they let us have all the props we want.
High as and if he's not, he is in my mind. Just screaming.
Yeah.
There's so many lines where he's just like, oh, yeah. Not lines, not words, just,
Kills me every time.
crazy son of a
At
bitch.
this point, I was like, all right, he seemed like he was cool and kind of chaotic at first, and now this is just all over the place.
Yeah, no, there's a point where the rules don't even matter because he's imaginary.
Yeah.
But he comes in and just tears her kitchen up. Like he's not supposed to be real. It's almost like he's some like the Freddy Krueger of foolishness. He just like he's not real really, but he can come in and have real world effects.
They do a bad job explaining the rules. They don't establish that.
He's not real until he is.
Until he is, exactly.
And then he ain't.
Yeah.
Until we need some hijinks. Until we need something to have the parents come in and doubt the kid for. Oh well, if he's not real, then how do you tear this kitchen up like this? Meanwhile, he's the one that did it, and always foolish. By the way, doesn't stop. If this is your imaginary friend, that means that you are mentally ill.
Yeah,
that means you need help.
He's clearly got ADHD.
Oh, yeah, that's
Or she has ADHD. If he's a figment of her imagination.
It actually would be explained if it was like, this is actually you who's been doing all this the whole time.
Yeah, and that would be great.
Yeah.
If you had this 14-year-old white girl saying, "Yeah, no, it was the black guy." You know, I always say it's the origin of the Karen. It's like you have crazy Karen. Everything that happened, you know, in this. What happened? What'd you do? Turn up this kitchen? No, it wasn't me. It was that crazy black guy. Now, Karen, we've told you about this. You'll see that black guy one day. You'll all see him one day. Then she calls police on every black guy she sees. Larry. It's you. Larry. Black guys out there barbecuing. You destroyed my kitchen. The movie just says, you know what, the hell with this script. Let's just Larry just gone.
That was long ago.
Larry just gone. You know, the movie just starts to just bend to do whatever Larry does. Because there's just things that pop up that don't progress this story at all.
Yeah.
Again, they're just doing genie stuff from Aladdin for this kid. I don't know if they were expecting to create another black genie for the next generation, but it ain't working. And it's just weird. It just pops out of nowhere.
I'm going to pull the switch.
Okay. All right. So what does that add to the story? Nothing.
Yeah, is this going somewhere?
Nothing at all. And this poor girl, she just keeps trying to decide, what do I see in this guy? But she keeps coming back.
Yeah.
There's a point here where he dresses up like Black Woody. From
Toy Story.
Toy Story. And he don't come in, do a voice or anything. He's just black dude dressed up like a cowboy. Well, I'm gonna take this hotel road. Gonna ride till I can't no more. Little Nas X creeping in to her little brother's room, Darwin. Now that does look kind of weird and creepy at first until you realize that he's not the imaginary friend of Francis Bacon, but he's the imaginary friend of her little brother, Darwin. And there's some crazy shit that happened between the sister and her little brother where she gave him a bone marrow transplant.
No,
or was it her brother?
The brother did.
Yeah.
The older brother.
But she didn't want to do it because she was too scared.
Exactly.
Yeah. And she's resentful because everybody loves the older brother for making that sacrifice. Even though, as you watch this family together, you don't get the impression that any of them did any of that. They keep saying it over and over.
Yeah.
The way that brother's acting, it's like, all right, I mean, if you say he did a heroic act, I guess I have to believe you, but that's not what I'm seeing.
It's something, yeah.
They do a really bad job of establishing any semblance of warmth between everybody. All of it is just stage acting and kind of just yelling at each other.
Yeah.
And that's a huge flaw the movie has.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because so she was too cowardly to do this bone marrow transplant, and it's become like a thing of guilt for her. So you watch it, it's almost like, so you feel so guilty, you're being hunted by a random black dude. Because Larry, I was about to get up from Crazy Larry, and then Larry said, "F all this Jim Carrey thing I'm doing right here. This just it just got real right now."
I don't understand why he doesn't believe in me anymore.
Oh, well, look, I told him a long time ago that it was childish to believe in things like that.
You did what?
Bitch, what you say? Bitch, you did what? That's where that pimp hand about to come in strong. You know?
Yeah, I was like, oh, sweetheart, you said the wrong thing. You should have kept that to yourself.
Yeah, made this Negro mad. You find out that all the vandalism that's going on around town is because of the Boogeyman, who looks like Leprechaun and Prince put together right now.
It is literally Leprechaun because he rhymes just like Warwick Davis'
right,
character.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a clip where he does that, man. People have imaginary friends when they're kids. Mm-hmm. And it turns out if you forget about your imaginary friend, chances are that fool could come to life if given the wrong circumstances. Nobody, if he does not find or she does not find another friend, they become boogie people. Mm-hmm. Boogie Man, boogie women. And then that's when they actually manifest and just start tearing up the town, start doing crazy stuff. Actually, they come to life. So children's minds are dangerous.
Yeah. They're jilted lovers who don't get over it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So it turns out that the reason why your boy got so mad at Francis Bacon is because he was Darwin's friend. He's like, well, the only reason why I have a purpose in life because Darwin was my guy, and you told him not to believe in me. And I just f***ed the whole world up. And now, thanks to you, since I don't have anybody believing in me that should at that moment, now I'm turning into a boogie person or Chris Rock on meth. Wearing that fake ass Ghostbusters
sort of like the son of Blackula.
Proton pack. Oh, Blackula, yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of like Crazy Eyes on the way from.
Yeah, it's true.
This stereotype power is what I want to show you.
You know, I think I'm gonna be staying alive because you can't catch up with this job.
Windmilling and rapping
Same time.
At the same time. And that's how he fights his ass
Yeah,
right
man.
there.
It's the only thing you can do.
You are straight up stereotype because you talking jive. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get you with my jive. I'm going to stay alive when I get you with my jive.
You know, I think I'm gonna be staying alive because you can't catch up with this job.
God damn, boy. No dignity for this character at all. And that, you know, at first I started thinking like, well, maybe, you know, maybe here they just, maybe I'm reading too much into it. But then I got into one part. Yeah, you know which part I'm talking about.
Because I'm like, I forgot about this scene. I was like, oh my God. What? I mean, I guess in 1999, no, they knew what they were doing in 1999.
I was going to let him slide with some of this stereotype shit because I was like, all right, y'all got him running through here. This magic. First of all, we got a magical, mystical Negro.
Yes.
He starts acting a fool.
Often.
You got him admitting that he's talking jive. And I said, but hey, maybe it's just me until this moment came up. I think it speaks for itself.
Oh, I know.
You know, I want you to tell my parents and the principal and Miss Riedel. Are you listening to me?
No one yell could.
I couldn't.
At all. No
I
one's-
couldn't believe. I mean, they must have just been with him. We've been making him do all this shit. Let's just try it. Let's just say it. Put it in the movie.
It's
This is some dark
yeah,
shit.
They were like, well, shit, he's acting like a goddamn monkey anyway. Let's just. Hey, he chose to do it, not us.
It's not even racial at this point.
You know, I want you to tell my parents and the principal and Miss Riedel. Are you listening to me?
Hey, that Negro decided to improvise. We had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
We had.
He signed off on it.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hey,
you didn't want to edit it out. It was germane to the story. It wouldn't have made sense if we took.
We need to have at least 70 minutes, okay? We don't have that scene. We're under the 70 minutes. I mean, we're not a movie. All right?
Hey, I'm as shocked by it as you are.
you don't understand. Yeah. We told him not to do this, but he felt like this was his best work. He fought for this scene.
You know, I want you to tell my
Boogie World, Boogie World was actually kind of cool in concept. You know, it's got all this crazy stuff in here.
Now you're powerless in Boogie World. Don't worry, Larry. I won't hurt you.
Got his ass pulling his ass like a slave.
I know.
Come on, boy. There's plenty of cotton in Boogie World.
Oh, my God.
We'll see if you can boogie to one of those old Negro spirituals.
Now, hold on. I didn't say all that. I'm not a monster.
Boogeyman, who has some shit against Francis Bacon, Francis Bacon, even though we don't know what it is, why he pissed her off so much. I know. I'm not gonna say it, but I know why. But yeah, it's some.
You can say
I can say
it's okay.
It's not.
No one cares.
Okay,
man.
hold on.
Who's 21 years old?
It's not. Here's the twist. It's not her. The thing is, the Boogeyman has something against her because Larry, as revealed, is not her imaginary friend.
Right.
Her imaginary friend turns out to be actually the Boogeyman himself.
Mm-hmm.
The Boogeyman, she neglected the Boogeyman when she felt bad about not giving her brother the bone marrow transplant. So she said, I got to grow up now. And she stopped believing in her friend. So, of course, when you stop believing in your imaginary friend, he just turns into a monster and just starts tearing up everything.
Which I wonder at the time when she felt guilty if her imaginary friend was just looking at her going,
Yeah. You learn.
Stop. Look, okay, you know what? Now, I don't believe in you anymore. How about that?
Yeah. we learned that her Boogeyman. Let me see here. Her Boogeyman turned into. It gets weird because her Boogeyman turns into let me see here.
I forgot about this, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I knew the Boogeyman was like her friend, but I didn't know what she turned back into. I was like, oh, that's weird. I was like, all right.
Yeah. You're like, what happened with the casting?
Yeah, it's very odd.
I'm not afraid of you. I know who you are. You can't scare me.
Really?
She just started pissing and shit on herself.
Oh, man.
The Boogeymans.
You're like, shit, I got a new white chick.
He got excited. He was like,
ran up on that shit. Shit, Buck Francis. Shit, girl, what's your name? Yeah, it turns out Zoe is her imaginary friend who's been the Boogeyman the whole time. So what happens is the Boogeyman, apparently since you forgot about me and made me, I'm just going to kidnap your little brother.
For whatever reason.
It's
never explained.
The little brother's, through the whole climax, he spends time just acting in a bag.
Easy job.
But you see some of the sets here, man, like the big ass doll and everything. It looks
No,
cool.
this is fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy it that these kids were scared off by any kind of old people effects or the Boogeyman, anything, because the parents are the ones that really complain. And there's been some crazy stuff out there. I can tell y'all what got these parents. They claim it was horrifying. You know what's coming up.
I know.
I can tell you what the most horrifying thing from them was. Turn your eyes. Turn your eyes. Shut up. Don't look. Black dude kissing white girl. No. And I don't.
She is sprung.
Man, I can look at her look after this, man.
That lip touch.
That lip touch right there.
I think you could safely say she has a type from this point
She
forward
ain't
in her life.
She ain't dating no black dude. I mean, white dudes after this.
No.
She ain't dating no. Chris, you missed your chance. She ain't dating no white dudes after this.
Yeah, lost another one.
Shit.
Ban it.
I would never wash the blackness off these lips. Before he even popped up, she was into black dudes so much that she ended up making out with the imaginary black friend of her little brother.
I mean, there's no other black people in that town except her best
Exactly.
friend.
Her black love was so strong that she conjured up her little brother's imaginary black friend.
Wow.
They start talking about other things in here that I said, man, that's a Disney rip right there. Down to the point where to even get rid of the Boogeyman, you got to be like Peter Pan. You got to clap. You got to believe and clap.
Come on, clap. I believe.
Stop it.
Oh, no. You did this. He wouldn't shut up. I told him to be quiet. Mother, shut up. Dead body in that bag.
Come on,
Yeah, anyway. But anyway, y'all. As far as this being one of the scariest, I don't know. That you must have said that from remembering this as a kid, because there ain't nothing scary.
Or misremembering it. That's also what it is, too.
Yeah.
People
or
think,
Or your parents hyped this shit up as something you shouldn't watch, right? Yeah, that on-screen kiss that happened right there. I imagine it's not going to be surprising to learn that this probably almost didn't happen. And I have not read this trivia yet. So if I was onto anything, that was purely by accident. Says here that the role of Francis's friend Larry was not written as a black character. And when a black actor was cast, Johnson says Disney posed a question. What are we going to do about the kiss at the end? Disney was concerned about having a black boy kiss a white girl. Notice they didn't say black person kissing a white person. They said black boy kissing a white girl. Wow. I told y'all, man, it's just infuriating. I'm sick that people don't even see it. And they always say, you're the one that's crazy. Fuck you. And I've been telling you people about this shit forever. And they especially don't want their kids to see it. They asked me to do it a couple of different ways, including not really at all. I fought for it.
There's different versions of, but don't do it.
Yeah. And I promise you, had it been the black girl kissing a white dude, they wouldn't have said anything. They wouldn't have said shit at all. They wouldn't. I'm just letting you know. Eventually, Johnson says Disney stepped up. The way it is in the film is exactly the way I had always intended it to do. I'd always intended to do it. So he had to fight for that right there.
That's nice.
Even though I'll admit it doesn't make any sense for the fucking story.
It doesn't.
I mean, I'm happy to see them do it, but it added nothing to the story.
It's not earned.
I can even see Disney being like, man, come on, man. It's the easiest out we have. And, you know.
Nope. That's the way it has to be.
We'll give you other projects. Nope.
The end of the 20th century here. What's the problem? But they had some concern about some of the Southern affiliates.
Them,
They say
man.
Southern
Why we
affiliates.
always
Is that what they said?
Yeah,
Southern affiliates.
Yeah, Southern affiliates, man. You know, really? Why are you so worried about them?
Because it's where Frances gets a little kiss on the lips from Larry and begins to think, oh, maybe I'm more grown up than I thought I was.
Did they
It's
tell
sort of
Larry
her first moment
that
of
it was supposed to be a little kiss on the lips? Because it seemed like it was a bit more than that.
There was-
I'm gonna get this while I can.
maybe I'm more grown up than I thought I was. And it's sort of her first moment of stepping into the next phase of adolescence. And I really talked to the Disney folks about it.
And that too.
I saw a slime trail leave.
Yeah. Shit, that's why she's fucking reaching her mouth, because her tongue is still in his mouth. Anyway, not the scariest thing. I don't even think these kids were scared of this, as they say. It's got some horror. It's got some horrifying images in there, slightly, very so slightly.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, but I don't. Nah,
Yeah, right.
I was more afraid of.
Turn to a boogeyman.
I was more afraid of Smart House than I was this.
Yeah.
This ain't shit. All right.
So is this? Would you rank this lowest then of the three that we've seen so far, or is this above?
This one got on my nerves the most.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably the most annoying, but I feel like it was better put together than the one with Aqualad.
13th year.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it was. But yeah, I don't know what I'd say, man. I think
Smart House is still king, though. Smart House is still king.
By far.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I think that just on a production level, and for them sticking to their guns on the kiss and everything, I'd put this above 13th year.
Okay.
13th year. I mean, this annoyed me, but it gave me plenty to talk about. I had fun watching it because I knew I would get some good mileage out of this. But 13th year bored the shit out of me, man.
Yeah, really, nothing happens. It's a superhero film. They don't do anything with the powers except.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all it is.
Fucking acting or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, severe case of acting.
Yeah.